Hi, I'm here to tell you about the question focus technique. I have been using this strategy to teach students to ask their own questions for the past 3 years. This strategy is based off the work of Dan Rothstein and Lou Santana and is presented in their book, Make Just One Change. The information provided to you here has been adapted from their materials and from their website at rightquestion.org. That's rightquestion.org with an R. So why teach QFT? It's a simple but rigorous step-by-step process to help students produce, improve, and strategize on how to use their own questions. It allows students to practice 3 thinking abilities in one process, using divergent, convergent, and metacognition. QFT helps develop scientific habits of mind and many elements of student agency to include engagement, ownership, and purpose. Teaching questioning is also a democratic ideal. To begin, students are put in groups of 3 to 4 to promote collaboration and then introduced to the process by reviewing the rules and discussing how these rules might be difficult to follow in a brainstorm process. The teacher sets the question focus for the question brainstorm, which should be as straightforward as possible, based on content, a concept, or a big idea that she wants students to investigate, and the intent for the questions that are produced. Maybe she wants students to set their purpose for an upcoming unit and come up with their own essential questions, or questions to guide a research project, a Socratic seminar, a science experiment, or for a guest speaker. Once the question focus is set, students determine a recorder and reporter and follow the rules for the brainstorm and number the questions on the paper. Giving students anywhere from 6 to 10 minutes produces a good amount of questions. Reminding students of group behaviors and expectations helps ensure cooperative success. A high level of engagement and interest in the task is evident, as seen in these pictures where students are leaning in, focused, and recording a lot of questions. The next step is to talk about how questions are grouped into 2 categories. Questions could be open or closed. Here you can ask students what type of thinking is used in closed questions and open questions. Students then talk about the advantages and disadvantages of these 2 types of questions. Then they decide what label to assign each question, C for closed and O for open. Improving their questions is the next step, where they review all questions and decide how to change one closed question to open and vice versa. The next stage is to decide through consensus on what are the 3 most important questions for a set purpose or intent. Students also communicate with each other about why their questions were chosen. Next, the reporter in each group is given 2 minutes to share the questions that were changed and the priority questions, as well as the rationale. Students communicate, creating a classroom of respect and shared knowledge. The work created shows the process and thinking stages involved and was used and can be used as a classroom display to share with parents at back-to-school night and to remind the students of their intentions for this year's chemistry class. The teacher used the questions that were created to match them to upcoming labs. Students activated their metacognitive ability by reflecting on what they had learned throughout the QFT process and how to use it in the future. Students were then asked to apply the process individually to their chosen science fair topics and then share their priority questions with their groups. Using the right question strategy with students often helps them develop this questioning process independently and for their own purposes. John Hattie, the Australian researcher, found that the teaching strategies, communication skills, cooperative learning, and creating their own questions, metacognition, and reflection, all involved in the question-focused technique, correlate highly to student achievement.